Hey guys, just thought I'd do a quick video with my good friend Matthew Moody. Hi Matthew.
Hi Parmdeep, how are you?
I'm very good, good to see you. And Matthew's come up to Leicester to hang out, and we're just looking at some deals on the Tycoon System Deal system. And it's very interesting because there's hundreds of thousands of deals on there, and mixture of repossessions, properties needing a lot of work, development opportunities, huge range of properties. And Matthew's a real specialist in HMOs. And I wanted to know a bit more about how someone like Matthew can find those gems within this huge amount of properties that are out there online. So, Matthew, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, and then perhaps we could learn from you what kind of things you look for in properties where, to most people, the properties look like any other property, but for you, you're looking at very certain selections that allow you to find the real profit-making opportunities. So, quick intro, and then we'll go into that.
Sure. Okay.
So tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you from?
So my name is Matthew Moody, based in Northampton, and run a specialist lettings and investment firm that focuses on finding HMOs for investors and managing them. I've been in the industry since 2004, and HMOs is pretty much what we specialise in.
So HMOs are properties that can yield anywhere from 12%, 15%?
12 to 20% gross. Normally, at least. Yeah.
Pretty good if you're from somewhere like London and you're used to earning 4 or 5% on your property. It's very lucrative.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing I'd love to learn is, you look at something like the Tycoon's deal system, and there's all these deals on there, as we mentioned before, repossessions, developments, properties needing work and everything else. Now you're looking at a very specific type of property that's a high yielding property. Now I look at lots of properties on the system, and you don't come across that many properties that are, this is an HMO for sale. It's usually you find a different standard kind of property.
That's right.
And that's where the skill comes in, knowing which selections to make. So what are the selections that you're making when you're looking at a huge, massive properties? What are the things that you want to pick out that let you figure out this is going to be a very high yielding HMO property?
Sure. I think the first place to start is, one of the things that a lot of people look for is below market value deals, and from a HMO it's not necessarily about how much below market value it is, it's how much it's going to yield. And typically for us in Northampton, it doesn't really matter how much of a discount we're getting as long as the property is in the right location. That's the most important thing. There are certain parts of the town, as in any town, where yes, you can get a great property at a really good price, but it won't actually rent out to people that potentially would take a HMO, whether it's students or whether it's professionals, or even if you wanted to go down the DSS market. The second aspect that we then look at is really, well, how many bedrooms do you need to make a viable HMO? And most investors want to start off with a smaller HMO, so you'd really want to be looking on the deal finder system at least minimum of 3 bedrooms as a minimum. We're probably looking for a lot more than that now because we're going more into blocks, but for people getting started, a 3-bed terrace in Northampton is the starting place. And the reason why we look at 3-bed terrace is, particularly in Northampton, and it may be the same in Leicester, I don't know, but we have a lot of cellars and attics. And again, that's another thing that we look for, is what can you do with that extra space, the cellar and the attic. Right. And we can typically convert those for, a cellar is maybe 9 to 11,000, an attic is maybe 14 to 18,000. And that's converting them into a usable room, and typically the attic will probably have a shower room in as well. Now, when I was buying quite aggressively in 07, 08, I was looking to buy a property that had rooms in it that cost me less than £40,000. So if I was buying, say, a £100,000 property that had 3 rooms already in it, that's basically about 35k a room. Now, if I can make a room for 10k, then I'm getting a bargain basement room. Literally, yeah. Good pun.
And so, I mean, we if you look at, say, the attic room, you're spending about 14,000 to do that.
Yeah, and 14 to 18. 14
to 18. Now, when you do the figures, because someone looking on the system will just see a 3-bed property there, and they're going to see an attic, so they click, I want an attic, or I want a cellar. So let's stick with attic for now. And you think, okay, it's going to cost me 14 grand extra to do this once I've bought the property. But what do I get back for it? Well, what sort of rental can you expect in a year for that?
Typically, an attic, if we're going down the professional route, which is what we mainly focus on, would be at least 350 at the very lowest level, and probably more like 400 to 450
per month.
per month.
So that's about £5 a year, roughly.
Yeah.
So that's not bad, because if you're thinking I'm spending 15 grand on this attic conversion, 14 to 18, let's say 15.
Yeah.
3 years time you've got your money back, and after
Yeah.
that it's free money basically, isn't it? Because it's just going to keep coming in.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that's really good. And also in terms of a valuation point of view, about £5 of income. I won't go into the mathematics of it because you can use the other tools that we've got on the site to do that. But the mathematics, in a very simple way, about £5 in terms of extra rental income would add about £60,000 worth of value, at least, to the value of that property.
Sure.
So it's a fantastic investment to make. 15 grand in terms of a conversion, added £60,000 to the property. You could even just refinance it from a commercial lender
Definitely.
to
Yeah.
then cover the cost of the conversion. So most of your money is already come back to you from the bank. So
And commercial lenders don't typically stick to a 6-month rule either, so you could get it out within 2 or 3 months.
that's very good.
Yeah.
So we talked about the area, and you can use the mapping functions to do that, to have a look for the right type of area. Basement, cellar is important.
Yeah.
What about number of reception rooms? Is that something you look at as well?
It is, yes. I mean, we typically want to have at least one living room, come dining room in the property. So a 3-bed terrace, you typically have at least 1 or 2 reception rooms that you can, even if it's a reception room that's a one large reception room, you should be able to get a stud wall in there to create an extra room.
Yeah.
So again, that's why looking at 3-bed terrace for people that are getting started is a great way in, because a 3-bed terrace, normally you'll have 2 reception rooms, so you're going to have at least 4 rooms anyhow. And then if you can convert one of the other rooms, even just one of them, you'll have 5 bedrooms.
That's really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for that advice. It's been really helpful.
Pleasure.
And website, do you have or Facebook we can contact you on?
You get me on Facebook, Matthew Moody. I think I'm maxed out at friends like you are, so just send me a PM or something, or you can go on yourhmoexpert.com and
Brilliant.
get on me by there.
Thanks for sharing.
All right, cheers.